Is the New Deal with North Korea actually a deal? Is it good for the United States? Can we trust the North Koreans to follow it? Doug McGregor is a retired U.S. Army colonel, author of the book Margin of Victory. Congressman Jeff Fortenberry is a Republican, represents the state of Nebraska, and both of them join us tonight. Congressman, first to you, is this a deal Americans ought to be happy about?
Well, the best word that I can use to describe the last few days, in my mind, is stunning. I think the president's actions here are bold, they're historic. It's almost unimaginable, given where we were just 6 months ago, where we were on the precipice of some type of even potential nuclear exchange. The president has leaned into something pretty radical here, and perhaps he's creating a new architecture for 21st century diplomacy. He has said to Kim Jong-un, we're going to deal with you, for good or for ill. And if it's for ill and you move your finger toward a nuclear button, we're going to hurt you. But if it's for good, I want to create the space for perhaps authentic dialogue and even friendship, and I think he accomplished that. He has rejected the norms of ossified proceduralism and stagnation that governed so many international affairs, and he took a bold risk, and I think he delivered something very important. It's his first step. We are holding out hope, obviously, for a greater vision that could evolve here, but it's an important and good first step.
Ossified proceduralism, a phrase I'm stealing. Colonel, are you as optimistic about it?
Extremely. I think this is Donald Trump's finest hour, and I'm absolutely serious. Donald Trump has recognized something that others have refused to see for a very long time in Washington. It's not simply that North Korea is on the ropes. It is. It's on the verge of collapse. Donald Trump understood that, and that's one of the reasons he was able to put the pressure on North Korea the way he did. But he also went to great lengths in his meetings with President Xi to forge an understanding with China. He treated President Xi as an equal, treated China as an equal. And I think Donald Trump understands something that is not well understood in the Pentagon at this point, or in many other places in Washington, and that our competition with China is essentially economic and technological. It is not military. And that was the key development, because without China, none of this would have happened.
Yes, that's right. And I think it clearly stemmed from what he said about trade with China. Congressman, there's been a lot of criticism of this deal from the left along the lines that the president is giving away important American advantages in exchange for nothing. How would you respond to that?
This is the combination of foreign policy realism and entrepreneurial diplomacy. And as I said, this is not only about potentially preventing a conflict and opening up a new chapter and rejecting a stalemate of the last 65 years with North Korea, but it also could signal a new way, a new architecture for diplomatic relations moving forward. Look, the world is screaming for some type of new interpersonal ecosystem, both in our homes and in our communities, as well as between nations. And what that means is that we have to have the ability to reach out and provide authenticity and dialogue and create some space, because the world is racing toward destructive technology. And then what? Civilization itself is at stake, and we've got to find a way forward toward mutuality and well-being and mutual security, or else we don't have much hope.
But, I mean, Colonel, that's a lot of what we have heard liberals and some conservatives, by the way, criticize, the idea that you meet with someone who is morally out of bounds, like Kim Jong-un. Going forward, should we be willing to meet with anybody?
Oh, absolutely. And I think Donald Trump is a disruptive force, let's be frank. He's disrupting the status quo. Lots of people in this town are very upset because this threatens to change the distribution of cash. Right. This threatens budgets. This threatens force structures. This threatens a number of things. He recognized early on when he was campaigning that South Korea is a powerful state, infinitely more powerful than North Korea and quite capable of defending itself. He recognized that Japan is also in the same position. In fact, if Japan raises its investment in military power by just 1%, Japan will be number 3 in the world in terms of a defense budget. He understands that what Northeast Asia wants and needs is stability, order, and prosperity, not war. And I think he's got the agreement of everyone who counts in the region.
That's an amazing statistic about Japan, by the way, which most of us consider demilitarized, apparently not. Congressman, thank you both very much.
Thank you.
Really
Thank you.